Oh! The fact that she like, oh my god, that is so clever. Be gone, bitch. Once again, not even in the episode longer than 30 seconds and stole the show. The aura farming king. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that once again, X put himself into an episode for less than 30 seconds. An episode that was hands down the best episode, period. And stole the show with a snap of his fingers. Aura farming king. You make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here. And Patreon is of course where you catch my full live reactions and exclusives. So, Nice is without a doubt, I think, the biggest fraud in the show. Like with most characters, seemingly it's tragic. But at the end of the day, whether it's the end of the episode where Nice ends up taking credit for Lolly's accomplishments of dealing with all of those dark beings, twisting of the narrative using the media to their advantage, I mean, incredibly impressive feat, but scummy. The more I've learned about OG Nice here in the past episode and 30 seconds, because the end of the episode definitely made me reevaluate what I thought I knew about the guy. I don't think he was murdered. Now, for a while, people have thought Nice didn't kill himself, but rather something forced him to do it. I've always thought, no, he did it. It's just I've always been, he gave a thumbs up when he did it. It was the funniest thing ever. It was like the most aura farming suicide I've ever seen. But I think he did it on purpose after this episode. It seems to me what they're implying is that eventually he got fed up. That his entire life is a lie. I mean, the idea that they start this episode off by basically saying, hey, everything that you have is manufactured, and because they're inventing a way to balance out trust values, you're going to be irrelevant, because the only reason you have the support you have is because of fear. So what does he do? He's like, okay, I'll go kill some people so that I always have a spot in the ranking. Jesus, you have to imagine at some point, yeah, he just had enough and he aura farmed his suicide. One would say, well, why did he give a thumbs up with it? Granted, his entire persona was this like fake Nice. You see him as he's going up the elevator, he's smashing things, he's very angry, but as soon as that door opens, he smiles for days. And that's what's really interesting, because, like, this, since the show started, has felt like a boys level world. Like, it's very manipulative, it's exploitive, and it's all about making as much money rather than saving people. And a good majority of the cast has been exploited because they have a range of mental illness and trauma. I mean, look at little Johnny. The dude has like a Peter Pan syndrome where he couldn't properly grow up because of how he lost his dad. And because of that, a system exploited him for merchandise for years. Ghostblade, oh god, Ghostblade. I mean, that's a mental illness that we can't even in 10 minutes go down. I appreciate that he seemingly left that company, though. That was some pretty major progress. I have to give him props there, but I mean, too little too late given everything he's lost. But hey, at least he didn't stab Johnny, and Johnny thankfully didn't learn the truth about Ghostblade, because even if you hate Ghostblade, that would have broke him beyond repair. Queen's one of the unique ones, I will say. Like, there's definitely a small handful of characters you could argue, even with their trauma, they seem like genuinely good people. Queen, Cian, definitely one of them. Johnny is a good person, it's just, poor boy be exploited. But to see the way, like, it's making a lot more sense now, because the commoner, right, ends up taking Nice's spot when he dies. No wonder, like, they never liked the guy to begin with. It was just merchandise for them at the end of the day, and just such an easy to switch in and out. No wonder Moon never liked original Nice, because if we remember, she was very, like, shocked by the commoner, because, like, hey, what happened to my D-bag boyfriend sort of a thing? Anyway, the fights, though. Up until this episode, the single best fight was the Boa and Queen fight. I will take no further questions. Best animated, they utilized the environment, the destruction, all the shipping crates. It was just flawless. And then we had stuff like the Ghostblade versus Isol. Also add in Johnny there. You had Lolly versus Nice. Those fights, and just how the best part of the entire fight wasn't even, Queen's epic entrance. It was Lolly's, like, Iron Man armor slowly coming off piece by piece and her just refusing to not throw hands. the expression in her face, at one point she removes the top part of her armor and it like holds nice in place so she can come in, she beats him over the head with her helmet. Like, she wasn't gonna win the fight, but she went down trying, and she was swinging, and she did make nice put up a fight. She absolutely did. Unfortunately, he just was stronger. The thing that was crazy, though, is throughout the episode, I'm thinking one of two things has to happen. Either Queen pops up or X pops up. X would make sense because the long-running theory is that X is an alien, and it would make sense given that we're in an alien ship and everything's kind of, doing his thing. But the logical thing would be Queen, because at the end of Queen's arc, I think it was, we see her driving and Big Johnny was on a rampage or something, right? With Lucky Cyan. So, like, I knew it was coming at some point, but I also wasn't sure if it would necessarily be this scene or if they would lead out of that scene. Whatever. No, she comes in and within like 2 minutes finishes it. Hits her cane, freezes everyone, taps Big Johnny on the nose and says, "I'm mommy," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you are." This is what makes me feel dirty. Everything that she just did is #1 hero status. Like in any other show, she is the top bitch in charge. And then this motherfucker X has to pop up and do a little finger snap and remind us, oh no, he daddy. And this is the thing that it always blew my mind when people pointed out. X controls the visuals of this show. The reason the first couple of arcs were 3D was because it was present day, and X was #1 hero at that point. And when he's not #1 hero, the world functions as it is. So, like, the big thing will be, what is X's true end goal? Is it a tearing down of the system? Is it a redistribution of the world? He's probably an alien, but as I've been saying throughout this whole damn show, even if he destroys the whole world by the end, I'll take it. At least he destroys the world. He doesn't try to manipulate it for money at that point. Like, it's hard to imagine he does worse than what these companies have done. In terms of exploiting both heroes and civilians. We have 4 episodes to go. We got Dragon Boy for a couple episodes, right? And then we got the dog, and then we have X. I think that's the order. We knew episode 20 was going to be something. Wasn't expecting her dad's death. Honestly, I thought both her dad and Ghostblade's daughter died, just the way it skewered. But I imagine if his daughter died, Ghostblade would have done a real crash out. But still, for an overall nice guy, I wasn't expecting such a disrespectful death. But there's a lot we don't know about OG Nice. But at the end of the day, he was one of the most willingly exploited characters in this show. And when tasked at, like, hey, either you go down and you deal with it, or you can go kill people to keep your spot, he went and killed people to keep his spot. Well, attempted to. I'm in disbelief with how good the production was this episode. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think? Favorite point? I mean, need I say more? That was definitely mine. Yours, though, down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're around. Your Patreon is, of course, to catch my full live reactions and exclusives like, hey, I give video shoutouts to my patrons. So today we got Nebs in 10. Danny, Charles Polk, Renee Villarreal, Katrin, Nick Howard, DYR, and we also have extras. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You'll have a good one.